So, welcome back everyone. Today, we are here to talk about possibly the best race of the season, the most entertaining one, and there's been a lot of stuff going on in these races. But so I don't know. I'm feeling that I don't really need that introduction too, because I mean, getting straight to the facts, I think it's the main part. So we're going on the 250 main event in the 10th round of the Supercross season in Detroit. And right from the get-go, it was Hunter Lawrence, followed by Jeremy Martin and Hayden Deegan. But Deegan already at the first corner trying to cut off Lawrence to get the whole shot and get the race lead. It was really aggressive right from the start. But his teammate Nate Thrasher managing to move into third position, starting to pressure Martin already for his second position and gaining a lot of time because he was really fast. Anstie unfortunately had a bad crash, had to go back to the pit, and he seemed to have a shifter lever problem, something with the gears, because he kept on looking down on his bike. He had a problem. He didn't really jump. He didn't feel okay on the bike. So that was a massive points loss for him, because from second in the championship he really went down. I think he lost 3 positions. He was down to 5th. So really bad night for him. But then 10 minutes to go, Nate Thrasher finally passing Jeremy Martin with a very fast rhythm over Jeremy Martin's one. After the big double across the starting straight, he came back. Martin was going double, then triple over the tabletop, and then triple double into the corner. But Thrasher with a faster rhythm lane, he was going single then doubling before the tabletop, quadding over the tabletop, and then tripling into the corner, able to carry a lot more speed than Martin and making this move on the inside to pass him. You see then a battle for 7th position between Cody Schock and Colin Park. So the two Firepower Honda teammates. It was a good night in the heats for both too, because they had a good start. They kept a good pace. Both not even having to run the LCQs. Already were in the main right after the heat. So big boost of confidence and big leap forward for the Firepower Honda team. Then Deegan getting faster and faster, catching Martin for 3rd position, but he seemed a little bit impatient, so keeping pushing, but making a little mistakes in the corner, losing the foot peg, going off track on the Dragon's back, almost falling, but he kept on pushing. He didn't care, and using the same rhythm that Thrasher used to pass Martin, he blocked past Martin right in the same spot and using the same rhythm. But I don't know, I just feel like he's getting a little bit too much confident with that, because in the first heat he was getting a little bit too aggressive with his teammate Jordan Smith, because there was a lot of fight, and I don't know, him being a rookie, I don't think he had the experience, so he went on all out by heart and fought really hard with Smith, taking him down. And I don't know, I think it was a little bit over the edge at that time. So I don't know, if he keeps on doing that, he might have a bad crash and possibly get a DNF or an injury. So I think he needs to keep an eye open, not go all out like he did tonight. So I don't know, we'll see. But if he keeps on like this, I don't know, it's not looking good. Not because of the speed, because he has the speed and the talent, but he could end up like Cincerulo, great guy with great speed, but out for injuries that possibly stopped him from making the rides he would have been capable of, changing his riding style also because of those injuries. So I don't know, he needs to be a little more cautious, I think. But he's a rookie, so I mean, it's kind of expected of him. So it was quite I don't know, it was quite weird to see him riding consistent in the first rounds, because from a rookie, that's what you expect. You expect heart, passion, going all out, faster, proving to be the fastest, and sometimes crashing. Most of the times crashing, because he's pushing all the way to the limit. But it's still not the case. I think he still has time to go back on what he says. I think his trainers and the team will have a word with him after what happened in the heat and the way he's been racing this round. But we'll see in the next rounds. But in the end, Hunter Lawrence managed to win. Nate Thrasher in second, and Deegan in the end getting his second career podium, holding on to third position. In the 450, man, the 450 were insane. The 450 main event was awesome. It was the most eventful race, the most entertaining one of the season. And it was like that right at halfway point, or even before halfway point, so it was really a lot of stuff. So let's start off with the start. And after the first corner, there was Cincerulo leading in front of Plessinger, Webb, and then Tomac. The heat race winners, Sexton and Anderson, were very deep in the pack, so really not the best start for Sexton, who was looking to get back the win and win some races after the long crashes he's been doing in the late races. But Plessinger then takes the lead in the whoops, going around Cincerulo and keeping more speed through the whoops, helping him go around Cincerulo. Then also Webb, Tomac, and Barsh's pass Cincerulo, taking advantage of a mistake in the rhythm section. And it really brings up a point of how packed the 450 field is. Cincerulo made a mistake in the rhythm section, allowed Cooper Webb through, which compromised his line for the next part of the track, and got passed by Tomac, which compromised his line on the next part of the track and got passed by Barsh. So a little mistake could cost you different positions. That's, I think, it's proving how packed full of talents and great riders is the 450 field. Then Sexton also coming back through the field, passes Cincerulo, enjoys the party for second position with Tomac, Barsha, and Webb. So it was really looking like it was really heating up to be a spicy fight for second position, because then we see Tomac pressuring Webb for second and making the pass, but then half a lap later Webb takes second place back and compromising Tomac's line, so Barsha managed to overtake Tomac too. So Tomac gained one position but then lost two in the course of a lap. Then Barsha going around the outside before the Dragon's back, keeping up way more speed and managing to pass Webb for second. Tomac then tries to pass Webb but couldn't do it. He wasn't ready. He's still fighting with some neck soreness, neck pain from the past rounds, so maybe that could have been a factor, but I don't know, we'll see. Sexton then managed to pass Tomac for fourth position. Unfortunately, Jason Anderson, the winner of Heat 1, crashed after the whoops trying to make a move around his teammate Adam Sansarulo, which was a shame. Really, not really the best race because he's been showing speed all season, but he just can't keep the bike up. Kind of like Sexton, but he hasn't got that Sexton speed because, man, Sexton, sometimes you find him lapping half a second, almost a second faster than anyone else on the field. So it's really insane the kind of speed he has. But then Sexton, talking about him and all the speed he had, passes Webb and battles Barsha hard and aggressive for second, and it was a great race. It was great to see 4 riders fighting for second position so hard, exchanging position, continuously racing, and also keeping it clean because no one took out anybody else, which I was a little surprised because I know Barsha made a pretty aggressive move trying to take back second position with to Sexton, kind of making contact, but it wasn't really a take up because Barsha, essentially, if he wants to, he takes you out. He doesn't care. So I think it was really clean, aggressive but clean riding. So it was really, really good to watch. It was really, really fun to watch. Webb then is able to pass Barsha for third position, and Roxon at one point was the fastest man on track and catching up to the group of Sexton, Tomac, Webb, and Barsha. And really could have been, I don't know, another guy in the fight. So it was starting to look like from a 4-bike fight, it was becoming a 5 riders fight for second position. But then you see Justin Barsha struggling for traction, can't get the power down to the ground. It was sliding all over the dirt, and Tomac manages to make his way through, taking advantage of these little mistakes. Then with 2 laps to go, Plessinger, who's been dominating all race, had 7 seconds to Sexton on second position, who was catching up, but not as fast as you probably think he was. Maybe he was holding back because he didn't want to fall again. Maybe he, I don't know. But Plessinger was really going fast and he dominated, and it was looking like it was his first win in the premier class. But unfortunately, it wasn't to be, because with 2 laps to go, he got kicked from the rut before the tabletop, lost the foot back, and got launched from the bike and had a really, really bad crash. It was heartbreaking to see Aaron Plessinger, who had been riding so well, down in the last 2 laps and losing this win, this potential win, because he really put in a great ride and a great effort. He really earned that win, but unfortunately you got to make it to the end if you want to win, so it wasn't to be. So in the end it was Sexton who won, Webb in second position, and Tomac in third. But it wasn't the end, because when Dean Wilson fell in the rhythm section, there was a red and white cross flag. Sexton got penalized for jumping the big double across the starting straight, because there was a red cross flag in the section, and he justified himself by saying that he, as a rider, he saw Wilson already on the bike. He rolled the double where Wilson was down, so he did roll the jump where the red cross flag was shown, but he jumped the double right after, so it was still in the same rhythm section, and the organization decided to take 7 points from him. So it was a great win for Sexton, showed consistency, but that little mistake kept him from gaining points over his rivals in the championship, Tomac and Webb. Now Sexton finds himself 17 points behind Cooper Webb, and the gap, instead of shrinking, is opening up. So we'll see how the rest of the season plays out, but it's really looking like a spicy fight for the championship this year. So, bit of a longer video. It's been an eventful race, so man, it was a lot to take in watching this race. If you didn't watch it, I recommend you watch it, because it's, I mean, I just summed it up, but watch it because the emotions I got from watching this race were incomparable. I mean, it's been a long time since I felt this way watching a race. It was so great. It was such a roller coaster of emotions. So I think you should watch it. I think you should, really. So without further ado, I mean, nothing else to say really. So I'll see you in the next video next week. Bye everybody, and I'll see ya.